All right, let's get into the state of the search for 2020. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Get us into our presentation. Thank you everyone for joining my session and watching. My name is Jason Wright. I am the digital agency owner of Marketing by Data. We're an industry leading marketing by digital or digital marketing agency, and we've been found on SEO Rockstar, Search Engine Journal, SEO Intelligence Agency, Internet Marketing Gold, Status Search Conference. We put out courses, as well as been quoted in a number of places, keynote speaker. We're a premier Google ad agency. I'm a digital marketer, trainer, and coach, so I teach experts how to be experts. And luckily enough, been able to work with some of the large and small companies out there, such as Disney, MySpace, Playboy, 800 No Cuffs, plus a lot more in helping them with their search, paid acquisition, and business consulting. So the overview of what we're going to go through, I'm going to keep things moving because we got about 20-25 minutes. I want to make sure that there's enough time for being able to answer questions. We're going to cover conversion rate optimization tips. These are things that help you in SEO on your pages. So when people go there, the faster they are able to be converted into a potential customer or as a revenue generator for products and services. They terminate search. The more that will help you get to the top position of search. We're going to look at some marketing channel tips for generic SEO, as well as some SEO tips for content. And we also got some business metrics I want to share with you because this is very valuable when you're trying to identify in your marketing efforts and using SEO. Let's say that you were increase SEO by 10%. What does that mean? So you can identify how much revenue does that generate from that expense that they have. And then also we're going to go into a show and tell of Google My Business tips. So conversion rate optimization tips, what we're looking at is that a pretty website does not equal a converting website. A lot of times you'll notice that some of these unappealing websites convert very well. And there's a number of reasons for that. It's because a lot of times they touch on what needs to be done in order to get someone to convert. They have clear messaging above the fold. They have the clear call to action. They tell you exactly what the page or product is about. They have a creative incentive or to purchase or to contact, and they have credibility plus social proof. So those are some pieces you want above the fold in your call to action, meaning that it could be a phone number, it could be a form, it could be your product, add to cart, whatever it is that you're trying to get people to do. Another conversion rate optimization tip is exit overlays. Now, what this is, an overlay is a pop-up, but the way that it's triggered is when someone goes to leave the site or breaks the pane, it's going to trigger this offer that comes up that gets them to either leave their information and you send them a free ebook, or you give them 10% off a product, or some type of incentive so that way you can capture their marketing information, so that way you can get them to come back later on. Also, another good tip is browser push notifications. And when you go to sites, you'll see this domain.com, we allow domain.com to send you updates or notifications. And most of the times you'll click no, but you can start building a list that way as well too. And what that does is that you could send out notifications. So you got a new blog post, or you got a new product that comes out, or a discount, and they'll get that in the bottom right of their browser. And another thing that's very important that you guys use, and this is more of an analytical tip, is use Hotjar. They have a free option where you can get 100 recordings for free that'll go across pages, and you can set up heat maps on 3 pages. So you can see what the issues are when people go there, where, how far are they scrolling down? Are they even getting to what your primary call to action is on your sales page? Plus a lot of other information that you can see is the path of users, and are they getting confused on the site? So it helps you uncover a lot of things that help with the conversion optimization. So some basic generic SEO tips that we're going to jump on, because we're going to focus more on Google My Business, is try to rank one page for one keyword. Use one H1 tag per page. Now, this can be different. As we're starting to see tools like Pop and Core, we're saying, maybe 2 H1s, maybe 3 H1s, depending on what the competition is doing. On average, we're looking at about 1,500 words per page, whether it be a blog post, a service page, and even a product page. And on product pages, you have the luxury a lot of times of being able to get a lot of reviews on there that'll help bulk up that page that are synonymously topically relevant. Name and images and videos with descriptive file names. So, let's say that you have a attorney, and it would be the attorney's picture. You would do attorney name, personal injury attorney, DUI attorney, whatever it may be, just to have that, so that way when it scrapes the site, it sees that file's name. It also helps you rank in image searches and video searches as well too. Add videos to product pages. This increases conversion rate. I think it's 2 to 3.5% increase in conversion rate on product pages that have a video on it. Set up your Google Search Console and Bing Webmaster Tools, and do not trust a web developer to do your SEO. Just take that out right now. So if you guys are, if you're SEOs, you already know this. If you're an SEO developer, get your SEO game strong. If you're a developer trying to learn SEO, know that you got a ways to go before you be trusted doing some claiming that you do SEO, because we come across a lot of contracts all the time where the web developer is adding SEO into it, but they have no idea what they're doing. Content, some general tips for content. Do I always have to create new content? In most cases, we don't. We do great on page. And the other thing with that great on page is that a lot of times that gets us to the top when we just get a strong backlink profile that's topically relevant from how we acquire. Another thing that I've heard is that content is king, and I argue against that, that content's not king. For instance, did you know that I wrote a book on how to get the #1 ranking for any keyword on Google? You don't know that because I didn't promote it. So it's not the content, it's the promotion of content that's king. And also, that's not a book I wrote, but it's just for an example. Now, what type of content should I create if I want to create content? So one thing that we've seen to do very well is we create skyscraper content that usually has about 3,000 words. And what we do is we see if there's something already out there that's doing very well and getting a lot of shares, and then we make it that much better. So you can use tools like BuzzSumo to try and find some articles or look and search. And usually a lot of times it's kind of around questions like, should I hire? Should I buy? Should I use this? What brand should I use? And it's that long form content that we found works very well in getting that and pointing the internal links back and getting some external backlinks and being able to get it placed throughout the web and as well too, found has a lot of value. Now, business metrics. This is something that you definitely want to look at with your clients for a number of reasons. One, you're going to add a lot of value when you start talking this way, because they go, wow, you're not interested in just getting us leads. You're interested in us understanding our business and you understanding our business. So these are some things that you want to take into account. So lifetime value. For us, we have a service-based business, right? So let's say you have a SEO client that comes on $2,000 a month, and then on average you keep them for 1.5 years. You know that you got, was that 24,000 plus 6, 12, 36,000 that you get off signing an SEO client. So if you make 36,000 off an SEO client, how much are you willing to spend for that SEO client? See, you could turn that on your client. Let's say that their service is something similar, and you could say, well, you know, if we take 30% rule of thumb of LTV, lifetime value, and we know that we do 36,000, it's going to be 6,200 we're willing to pay to get one SEO client, right? That's 3 months worth of work, but you know, if you keep them for 1.5 years, you got them. So those are some things. And then I've got a Facebook e-commerce calculator. If you guys are doing Facebook ads that I wanted to throw in there for you as well too, feel free to access that with the link at the bottom. Now, Google My Business. This is the big thing that I wanted to discuss, you know, because this is really focused on local. Those other pieces are important to any type of business, whether it's local or national, but we're going to run through real quick, and then I'm going to show you on my Google My Business how we set it up. So one of the things is that your name, and feel free to, when you get these recordings, you can pause this and read through this. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to jump into it. Or actually, let me go through the so we're going to go name, category, location, hours, phone, short name. You want to fill out everything that you possibly can. Make sure that you have that information. And then one trick is for your photos, add as many as possible, but also use the Google 360 for Street View virtual tour. And Google has a team for like $350 or $450, I forget the exact cost, that will go out to your business and do a virtual tour of the physical location if you have one. And we find that that's helped get people increase in position as well too, because you have a authorized, I forget exactly what how they determine the person who uploads it, but it seems to have some weight as well too. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the Google My Business posts. And we don't continually do posts, but we update every year, and we use an offer, and that's kind of the same offer you're going to want to have on your site, that incentive for people to contact you. So that way you don't have to go in there every 2 weeks, because we find every 2 weeks it wasn't really doing anything. So we just have something that sticks. So Let's go ahead, and this is our, and I'll start with posts just so that way you can get an idea, in which we've got our post for this specific office that we had set up in San Francisco. And you set up add offer, and in that offer, what you do is you, on your date, you got your start date, end date, and you just add in that 1 year distance as we've done here, so it'll end. But what that does is that will stick in the results that I'm trying to think of, the right hand side. I'm drawing a blank, but when you see the profile on the right hand side, usually is that's where you're going to see when you see the post. Now jumping in, so I keyword stuffed ours, and this has been up here for a couple of years and we haven't been flagged yet. So just take note, if you get flagged under the name, you want to have a keyword in the name. That's, and you'll notice overnight that for stuff that you didn't come up for before, you're going to shoot up. And this is one of the big tricks, but you have to be careful. But if you get flagged, let it run for a little while, see, and then change it up a little bit about how you're doing it. So maybe I'll start, if this was to get flagged, I'd start with marketing by data, pipe, SEO company, PPC management. I might change it up a little bit, keep changing it. So that way it's not as if I'm trying to push the same through and getting flagged. I've never had an account taken down because of this. So if we keep getting Slack, we just leave it as a business name, let it run, see how it performs. Because usually by the time we get done in 3 to 6 months around, we notice that we're coming up for those terms anyway. Now our categories, select all relevant categories. So don't do categories that aren't relevant, because you don't want to come up for things that you're not relative to. So for instance, I had a business that was doing breathalyzers, so IID installations, and they also put in their categories DMV, because they're saying, oh, we're related to DMV. They were getting calls from the people who were looking for the DMV office when people were searching for DMV in that area. So it wasn't very effective at being able to generate qualified leads. So we updated it, eliminated that problem. We did see a decline in the number of impressions and searches, but it didn't hurt us because we had an increase in the other types of searches that they were trying to get for IID. Now, there's discussion. No one's really determined if exactly, if you have a physical location, does that do better than if you use a service area? This one is a service area, and the tricks that we used, you could get a local virtual office, not like a Regis, something small that's not on the radar yet. Get your postcard there, get it verified. You can leave it as a physical location or have it as a service office. We, in this instance, just use a service area, and it does fine for PPC and SEO company under this listing for maps. And then when you set up your hours, you have to think of it in 2 ways. When are you taking calls? It doesn't necessarily matter when the business is open. Like for us, we're not open 24 hours, but we have the ability to answer with call center 24 hours. So we're going to put, we're open 24 hours because regardless of the time, we want people to be able to reach out to us. So that way we can get those calls and convert them, because if we're not open, someone else is. Special hours, are you open Christmas and holidays? You could put that if you want, like local stores may do that. So if you have a restaurant, and just to highlight it more, but in general for, businesses outside of that, we don't bother with the additional work. Haven't found it has much of an impact outside of those types of businesses. And then we've got our phone number, and something to note, because you're talking about citations. And let's say that we wanted to track this, we would put a tracking phone number here as number 1, and then we would add our citation number as number 2. And that citation number would be the one that you find on the site. That could be an 800 number, or it could be a local number, it doesn't matter. But you can add additional phone numbers, so that way people can contact, or the citations can, or Google's algorithm can match citations. Then we've got our name. So we did this one, marketing by data. If this was our main office, we would just leave it at marketing by data, but it's San Francisco, so we add San Francisco. And then add in the UTM parameters on here. This is something that we do so that way we can track traffic to the site. It's still the homepage. We just got the parameter on there, and we see, you can see how many impressions and clicks you get on this through your Google Analytics tracking. Appointment links as well too. Now, products. So this is something as a service-based business, you may think, do I need to add product, or why would I add products? Yeah, we add products because our services are products. We want to have what we do, and we want to put in search engine optimization. We don't put the price, a short description, and then a link back to the page. Now these links I've seen get picked up, so it's given us more relevancy from Google, plus helps them understand the site a little bit better, and gives the option for us to get our services out there even more. And then you go, well, is the services any different? No, the service is the same. So we could add a custom service, search engine optimization would be one. Load that up. So then we would continue to add our services. You could add a different business category. So if you have, a law firm, let's say you do private PI attorney, you would then go into there, you dog bite attorney, and then you do car accident attorney, truck accident attorney, and then you'd have criminal defense attorney, and under there you have DUI attorney. You'd have what else under criminal? Juvenile attorney, mass tort, or not mass torts. Trying to think of some other ones, but you get the idea. And then we have our website. So it automatically creates the majority of this, and then in your content, so let's say you wanted to edit, you're going to want to put in the summary header, internet marketing service description, you could say, but you want to draw these out a little bit. So you essentially want to break out, search engine optimization, and then you would have, the definition of it, or how you define it. Oh, it's a short description, sorry. So in your summary body, you'd put that information in there. Let me save this, publish it. All right, but go to your info, and we didn't get to the end of this before we got there, but add your highlights, health savings, service options. All right, online appointments. Just always add in what the business provides. But you can take this description. This is a shorter description. It's almost a 750, but we could drop that into our website. And I'll show you a trick here to get another backlink from Google. And you could do, I don't mind. We will link back to the service pages from here. So we'll do search engine optimization, and then we'll link back. We'll link back like that. That way you get Google linking back to your service pages. Go ahead and you save it.
And that is it for the Google My Business presentation for the State of Search 2020. Hopefully you got some good information in there that you can apply right away. And if you have any questions, we're going to go into a Q&A right here. But outside of that, if you're watching, you can always give us a shout. You can reach me directly at jason@marketingbydata.com, or you can hit me on the telephone at 866-869-4452. And with any questions, always feel free to reach out. I'm always open, looking to either learn something you've got that you found, or if you want to talk about some clients that you have or a business that you may have, always feel free to reach out, as I'm here to help. So let's get into our Q&A.